Good morning, groovers. I've got Friday on my mind. It's so cheesy. Gonna have fun in the city. Hey, you know when you do that, you look at the number one song in your country on the day and year that you were born, and that's the anthem of your life. Funny enough, mine is Friday on my mind. I wish I was younger and it was Friday I'm in Love by the Cure, but I'll take Friday on my mind because I kind of have lived a bit like that. In my working life, Fridays are always, pretty exciting day because here comes the weekend. I don't like this new thing though, Friday. Friday, like why? Just let it be Friday. I mean, I know everyone's like it's Friday, yay, but Friday, no. Had a pretty sunrise this morning. Had a pretty sunset last night too, but a pretty sunrise this morning. And I did a live last night about the flooding in Queensland and New South Wales, and this community's got a lot of Queenslanders and New South Welsh women and men in it. It was pretty full on listening to stories about what they're going through at the moment. I'm going to be doing a few lives over the next few days about it. We're already looking after one of our nutbags, Tamara, Ms. T. Lee, and also the lovely Finn, who I do batshit with. He lives in Queensland. And hopefully I'll be going live with him on the weekend as well, and he'll be able to tell you guys what's going on for him, but he is safe. That's the main thing. I thought I'd just go live because I'm driving into work. Oh, joy. I got so used to working from home and I loved it. I'm so productive when I work from home. I said to my boss, you get like an extra hour of unpaid work out of me for starters, but on top of that, there's a lot of toxicity in the building I work in at the moment. Nothing to do with the organisation I work for, but there's just some really bad juju going on, and it kind of affects everyone in the building. I don't have any bad juju at my joint. Sonny might disagree, but I essentially spend 2 hours in traffic every day to go and sit in a building full of grumpy people. Not to mention petrol. God, isn't that expensive? And I could just get up and go for a walk on the beach and have some breakfast and crank up my laptop and be working by 7:30, 8 o'clock. But I'm an obedient employee, so I do what I'm told, and it is what it is. We are doing the right thing, but yeah, I'm not going to lie, I do miss working from home. I'm going to see if I can at least negotiate one day a fortnight. Crystal Dawn, hello, and good afternoon to you, and good morning from me, where it's currently 7:06 a.m. and it's 16 degrees Celsius, but we're looking at a top of 26 degrees Celsius today, which is actually a really lovely day in Tasmania. We've got bitey sun, so 26 here is like 32 or 34 in other states of Australia. Celsius. How are you, Crystal? What's going on in your world? So yeah, I did a live last night about the flooding in Australia at the moment, which is so full on, like a 1 in 1,000 year flood or floods. And just when the waters were going, got bashed again with another storm. It's just been really intense. and we're looking after our Traces of Nuts community. But I thought I'd go live and chat about it this morning too, because we had a few people pop in from the US, and I just want to say I love that platforms like YouTube bring us all together. You know, we're a global community, and these platforms make us all accessible. And COVID certainly brought a lot of people into this realm of platforms where you can connect as well. So even though bad things happen, it's lovely to know that there are people thinking of you all over the world. You're cleaning out the greenhouse. Does that include cleaning all of the glass? That's a job you need. Co-cleaning products. They do windows like no tomorrow. Although the old spray and wipe and newspaper trick works a treat as well. Not spray and wipe. What's the window cleaner? Windex. Don't know what it's called where you are, but it's like blue and it smells yummy. I love the smell of Windex, although I use Co now and that doesn't have an aroma. That's hard work though, cleaning out a greenhouse. But hopefully it's all sparkly and beautiful when you're finished. So yeah, we had a little corner of love going on YouTube last night. It was really cool. Had a little panel. Vivian, Mel, and Greg Lawler all jumped up. And Mel had a story about surviving a flood, and it was pretty full on. And it was very feel-goody, and once again using the platform for what its best qualities are, and hoping that a lot of YouTube creators just stop all this infighting and just blatant bitching and silliness. Like, how can you be living on this planet at the moment with what's going on in the Ukraine, with what's happened to the planet with COVID? Parts of Australia are underwater right now. There's probably a natural disaster that's occurred overnight that I don't even know about yet. This island where I live is in drought right now. And all of that stuff going on, that real life stuff that's actually literally breaking people's hearts, destroying lives. And you think the most important thing to do on YouTube is bitch about other people on YouTube? Warped priorities. Even if it is all about the money and how much money you make bitching about other people, your priorities are still warped. And so are the priorities of all the people who support it and donate money as well. There are little bubbles of love happening on YouTube, and I love this little community we've got. I love how everyone gives a shit about each other. And we rally, we rally together when someone in our gang needs even just some love, Oh, you've got to get your... Oh, you have Windex too, Groovy. Probably from you guys originally anyway. Planting the veggies. I planted a little herb garden over the last week or so, and maybe the last couple of weeks on my deck. I can grow herbs. It's one of the few things that possums won't eat, except for parsley, I've discovered. But it's so lovely just to go. I mean, I wish I had an edible garden with, veggies and stuff, but there's so many people down where I live that already grow, and there's a community garden where they grow veggies, and you can just buy beautiful, fresh, homegrown stuff cheaply anyway. But I do grow herbs, and even just putting your own herbs on top of things that you're cooking or in things, there's nothing better. Oh, and you've got some baking to do too, Crystal. Cake balls. Is cake balls and cake pops, all the thing, well, I mean, cake pops have been the thing for a while, but I honestly have not walked into a cafe in Tasmania where there's cake pops, like little balls of cake on sticks. It hasn't taken off here, but I watch a lot of foreign cooking shows and even shitty ones like Nailed It, and they seem to be popping up all the time. Unintended. Anastasia Beaverhausen, hello. No, Anastasia, I'm safe. But weirdly, while southeast Queensland and northern New South Wales are underwater, our state, this little island, is in drought at the moment. We've got a lot of farmers who are really struggling to feed their stock, but also farmers that are struggling to grow feed for the stock. So, yeah, there's a lot of farm relief happening down here at the moment, but people don't think Tasmania's dry. They think it's because we're so south and the state we're directly under, it rains there a lot. People just picture us as being this wet, damp, cold place. But Hobart, where I'm heading today to work, is the second driest capital city in Australia. So, yeah. So, yeah, we're in drought while the rest, not the rest of the country, but the southeastern part of Queensland and northern bits of New South Wales, or even it's heading further down, actually. We've got a lot of members here, like in the community. I don't mean like membership members, but a lot of people in the Traces of Nuts community who live in Queensland and in New South Wales, and there were a few in my live last night, and some of them are really having a hard time. So we're going to be doing some little fundraising bits and pieces over the next few days. I'm speaking with Tamara today. Some people had already PayPal'd some money for her, which is lovely. And then beautiful Finn, who I do batshit with, he lives in Queensland as well. And we're hoping to do batshit on the weekend, and I'll let him tell his story. But he is safe. So I agree, Crystal Dawn. It's the corner of YouTube that just, I wish they'd just push them all back into that little dive bar and lock the door and turn off the Wi-Fi so we don't have to hear it anymore. Because it's just such a huge waste of time, and there are so many people needing support right now. It doesn't have to be financial, but just, you know, people just need to know that other people are thinking about them and want to help, you know, and they're looking into, like we looked into some ways to help last night. The Red Cross got slammed because they don't hand over all the funds, so we're not promoting them anymore, but there's a link I put in chat last night to the Queensland newspaper, the Courier Mail, with a lot of ways you can help out. Putting together bags of toiletries, that sort of stuff. Yeah, KFC. I love what you guys spot when we're driving. The other day, I found 51 recliners on the side of the road. I didn't even come into Sorrel. This is where we are now. But there's a shitload of them on the roads around here too. But, yeah, back there's Junk Food Corner. There's KFC on one corner, and then over the road diagonally there's McDonald's. And then a bit further on the McDonald's road on the other side of the road is a Subway. And there's a Pizza Hut too. Oh, no, it's a Domino's. It's only a takeaway, but people do need to know they're not alone, and that's why going live, like Tamara came in and her place just flooded severely. The only electrical item that wasn't destroyed is their 1,000-year-old fridge that's still cranking up. But they've lost everything. And well, that's right, Anastasia, you were with us, you got to 38. We got to 51. 51 recliners on the side of the road. But yeah, that's why I put "You're Not Alone" in my title today, and it started making me sing, Michael Jackson's "You Are Not Alone." But Tamara was just so excited that, she was able to tell everyone what was going on, and people were, wanting to help and sending her lots of love. And it means a lot because I think these natural disasters, they're so isolating in a way, even though they're isolating because everyone around you is going through the same thing as well. So, like, everyone's got cleanups to do and trauma to deal with and so on. Plus, internet, reception, Wi-Fi reception drops in and out. But it was so good to have a few of our Queenslanders in chat last night, and it was nice just to go live and just give people a place to come and hang out for a little while and even have a few laughs. You can use this platform for so many good things. Get a lot of creators and subscribers see it as only being good for one thing, and that is just wasting hours of your lives slamming other people. And you guys know me pretty well. Like, I'm all for right of reply. It's a huge part of my belief system that if something is said about a person that's incorrect or even correct, people are entitled to a right of reply. And I'll always support that. But when you've got a creator that has that right of reply and then flings more mud back at the other person, and then they have a right of reply and then they fling more mud back, at some point the right of reply goes out the window because it's just pointless. In your real life, if you meet someone you don't like, you just don't put their number in your phone. You don't engage with them. You don't hang out with them. How absorbed people get in a relationship with someone online that many times they don't even get to see. Look at Diane's channel, like people pouring money into that channel, and even her co-hosts had never seen her face. I mean, what the fuck? Looks like it's just me and one person right now. Nobody wants to see. This is why YouTube sucks too. You try and do feel-goody stuff and bring people together and offer support to other YouTubers, and no one wants to come anywhere near. But if my title was Molly Golightly's Losing Her Mind, or Hey, Bullhorn Betty, I'll take you on. Imagine how many people would be watching right now. But I don't care because I really just want to let everyone know in the flood areas that we are Doodle Brown. G'day, Groover. Have not seen you for a very long time. I hope you are well too. How are you? I just want to keep an eye on my fellow Aussies who are going through a nightmare at the moment. And don't get me wrong, there are Tasmanians going through hell at the moment too, but the floods are just wreaking absolute havoc. They're catastrophic, like just insane. No, you keep working, Crystal. I know there's lurkers. But yeah, the drought down here is a nightmare. But we've been putting up with drought for a long time. Not that it's making it any better. It's actually, we've had the driest summer in a long time, while other parts of the country have had the wettest. Oh no, I'm sorry to read that. God, my dad had dementia. I mean, it sounds awful, but he actually had a heart attack. in his, well, not in his sleep. He woke up and asked for a coffee, and when they brought it back to him, he was gone. But I'm actually quite grateful that he didn't have it for a long time. Well, I mean, he'd had it for 4 years, but it hadn't really got to that sort of devastating level. But so many of my friends have lost parents to it, and I've got a very close friend at the moment whose mum is getting towards the end as well. And she put a thing, I'm sure you will have seen it, Doodle, but if you haven't, Google it. But it's like a poem about dementia where that is, I think it's called The Long Goodbye. Oh my God, every word is just like a knife to the heart, but it's beautiful too. But yeah, it's just it's a horrific disease. I mean, my mum died of cancer, and that's an horrific disease too. In fact, let's be honest, diseases are fucking horrible, but some of them are just cruel, and dementia's one that is incredibly cruel for everyone involved. Oh, I won't be able to read that. Oh, hang on. You took them. Awesome. Good girl. Aren't they great? It does, oh, I'm so proud of you for doing them because, I mean, it's such an internationally acclaimed course anyway, and I loved that when I did it, there was students that I was chatting with from all over the world. But God, it was interesting, and I wish I'd known more about it when my dad was diagnosed. But I love the optimism in it too. Like, I love all of the villages that they're building now that don't look like hospitals, and they try to replicate the building so it looks more like a home. And it just you're so brave to do that while you're living through it, because of another friend of mine, Laura, who's been on my panel a few times doing face masks and eating Japanese snack food and shit like that. Her beautiful mum, who I was really good friends with too, she died of dementia a few years ago. But Laura, I think she did the course while her mum was still alive. And I mean, that just takes such courage. But I think also understanding how it all works and what's going on. And the things that, just little things that they teach you about what you can do that aren't necessarily what you think you should be doing. I'm so proud of you for doing the courses. We need to tell anyone we see to do them, because they are, I'm so glad that you did it, and I'm glad that it helped you too. You probably do lots of, when you're studying, you're probably making notes but thinking in an Aussie accent. Although quite a few of the professors and doctors had accents. They weren't all Taswegians. But yeah, it's a great course just for your own mental well-being as well, like your brain health as well. I haven't completely removed myself from all the risk categories, but even down to, like in the preventing dementia course, saying, you know, that going for a walk is good for your mental health, like it makes you feel better and whatever, but it doesn't actually work on your brain health, you know, and talking about the sort of stuff you should be doing at the gym. And I'm heavily addicted to my gym at the moment. And I'm really proud of myself for getting on with, you know, doing really good cardio workouts, but also doing all the weights and everything. Oh, that's incredible, Doodle Brand. I'm so happy to hear that. I'm glad you're telling everyone about it too, because it is so good. I mean, it's not surprising. It's, you know, it's so popular is not the right word, but, you know, so well attended, and for people all over the world. And it's a free course too, people. So anyone who's listening, you can do a donation at the end and they'll give you like a certificate. And I did that for both modules, but people don't have to do it. But anyone listening right now, whether you've got someone in your life with dementia or not, I thoroughly recommend you do it. They're two courses that are done by the University of Tasmania. If you type in UTAS dementia courses, it's actually through a centre called the Wicking Centre. And isn't it interesting, Doodle, while you're studying it and doing the course, they talk about how important it is for us to keep learning new things. And you're sitting there going, well, I'm learning good shit right now. Like all the brain terminology and just learning, like, stuff that we were taught at school, but I'd forgotten about, like what parts of the brain control what. Oh, you got your certificates too. I'm really proud of you. Yeah, the Wicking Dementia Centre. Free courses, and they're really good. They're interactive, and you learn a lot. And they're presented in a really nice way, and you work at your own pace. I mean, you've sort of got a schedule you've got to stick to. You have to complete the course by a set date, but it's a reasonable amount of time to do it. Oh, Tamara, thank God. Hello, gorgeous. There hasn't been any rain. Oh, awesome. It must have been the Traces of Nuts vibes that we were all sending out last night for you. Gave you a better way to approach with her, yourself, and family. Yeah, and that's another thing too, like being able to talk to family who are really struggling with it, because it does affect everyone. And just, Doodle's now a convert as well, but if anyone is listening and you're thinking, I wouldn't mind doing an online course this year and learning something new, there's 2 modules. The first one is called Understanding Dementia, and then there's a second one called Preventing Dementia, and they're both absolutely fabulous. The song Stop the Rain, yeah, if I could stop the rain from falling down. I can't believe I played that song and you'd listened to it an hour earlier. And oh my God, it revealed a group of 1927 fans. Even Scout was like, who's this band? So I reckon somewhere in New York right now, 1927 is being played. Thank you, Doodle. Oh, look, I am one of those YouTubers who knows exactly how to make a channel go ballistic. My channel goes backwards all the time. And look, if I had one person that came in who needed a laugh or just some company, that to me is worth so much more than having thousands of motherfuckers rolling in just because I'm being an asshole. Scout, she's got 1927 playing. Well, you have good taste too, Tamara, because you were listening to them as well. I just mentioned you, Scout. I said, I reckon there's someone might be listening to 1927. What do you think? Do you like them? Some of their songs are very 80s and very cheesy. But If I Could is one of the most perfect songs ever written. Yeah, good choice. Everyone's into 1927. It's such a bummer because I'm seeing them live later this year, but I won't be able to go live from the concert. Hey, Stop Animal Cruelty. Hello, beautiful. And yeah, I always think of you too and what you're going through with your beautiful dad. Unfortunately, Parkinson's and dementia do go hand in hand. My beautiful friend Caroline, who died in February last year, so I've just had her first year anniversary, Birdie, some of you would know her as Birdie. She had Parkinson's and then she got cancer, unfortunately, but she did actually say that when she'd accepted that she wasn't going to get better, she did say that having Parkinson's, her life was going to go down a very difficult road if she hadn't have got cancer. So she had quite a pragmatic approach. She tried to find the silver lining, I guess. Oh, thank you, Doodle. And that's, that's the thing. People don't realise how powerful this platform can be, and you don't even know that you're helping someone so significantly. And when you do find out, it's like, it's unbelievable. I'm getting teary. I'm glad I haven't done any eye makeup yet. I'd have mascara down my face. I'd look like a little raccoon. Oh, yours had dementia and Alzheimer's. Yeah. Alzheimer's, as you would know from doing the course, it's the most common disease connected to it. We were lucky with Dad in a way. I mean, don't get me wrong, he died too soon, but we did lose him because he died, but we didn't lose him. He was still very much with us. When he passed away, he hadn't got to that point that he didn't know any of us. And see, look, just going live and letting people cruise in and give each other lots of love. I love that you're listening to 1927. I didn't see your comment, though. I mean, well, presumably you do like them if you've got them on. And, yeah, some of their songs are a little bit, they make you dance bad 80s style, but, nothing wrong with that. Who doesn't love a bad 80s dance move? But I do think If I Could is one of the most perfect songs ever written. And it's funny because it does, like I said last night, it does make me, it's a song that I start singing whenever I feel helpless and I can't help people. It's like I just wish I could fix everything. Even though it technically is a love song, it really does apply, I think, when you're just wishing you could fix things. And it also makes me, for some reason, it does make me feel very Australian. I mean, obviously they're an Aussie band, but it's just one of those songs that comes on, everyone starts singing it, So it was a good choice. Tamara had literally listened to it an hour before I went live. And then we discovered that in chat, apart from the dudes, pretty much every girl in chat who knows 1927's got the hots for Eric. I'm curious to see what he looks like now, because he's a hottie. And Mel mentioned he's got a YouTube channel, so we might all have to start hanging out with Eric, right? I'll look it up and find the link to it, although Scout will probably get onto it already, but we'll be promoting his channel. We might even do a raid. I wonder if he goes live or if he just uploads music and stuff. I'm curious now. And wouldn't it be cool if we were hanging out on Eric's channel and he comes to Hobart and I'll be like, hey, Eric, can I come and say good day to you on behalf of the Traces of Nuts community? We're all a bit in love with you. Imagine if I got to go backstage and do a live interview with him. Scout thinks he's a hottie. I'll be introducing you guys to, I like playing music. It makes you lose monetization, but I don't care. I want to share, the songs that I love. I like the channels that play music. I know that Misery polarised the YouTube community, but fuck, he played good music. I used to like listening to him because he played shitloads of Pearl Jam. And he was often live when I was driving home. It's like, who doesn't want Eddie Vedder in the car when you're driving home, right? Scouts got a crush? We do have some good bands here. Like, I mean, every country has good bands, but there's just something about Australian music, and I suppose it would be true of any country, that there's just like an Aussie kind of vibe to our musics. Nice to see you. Stop animal cruelty. I'm always blowing kisses your way. I'm just having had Biscuits 1 year anniversary and Birdies around the same time, and even being there, dying, in December. Those first anniversaries are hard. They kind of flatten me. Three very important human beings and animal in my life. I was a little bit, what's the word? I was actually surprised how much it flattened me because, as you guys know, I've lost a lot of people and animals. And I'm usually very pragmatic about it, but yeah, this year it was tough. Oh, look, she's posting the link, Scout. You're hilarious. He has aged. Well, we all age. Has he aged well, Scout? Would you say? Or are you heartbroken? I think you've done that emoji, putting your face on your hand like, uh-oh, not so hot anymore. Well, none of us are. He still sang one of the most perfect songs of all time. So, he'll always be a hero. That's another song of theirs that I love. Have you heard Compulsory Hero, Scout? I like that song. I will be chatting in the car park for a while because I'm nice and early. The run into town isn't as bad as it used to be, so that's a good thing. You're pleading the fifth. Okay, so he hasn't aged well, but he's got that voice, and yeah, he sang If I Could, one of the most gorgeous songs ever. It still makes me tear up when I hear it. Like, I just love it. And I relate to that feeling of just wanting to change somebody's world, and not just people I love. Like, what's going on in Queensland and New South Wales. I just wish I could fix it for everyone. You've been listening to them all day. So is Compulsory Hero another one that you like? But yeah, a few of their songs do make you get a bit 80s and you click your finger kind of stuff going on. But I don't think there's a band on the planet that has not put out at least one bad song. I'm going to expand your music collection, Scout. Every time I go live, I'm going to play a new Aussie song that you may not have heard before. It was funny too. I haven't responded because I was a bit in a flurry. Usual, got to get out of the house and get to town kind of workday flurry. But Shady Man sent me the link to U2's Pride in the Name of Love. Now, weirdly, that's another song that's a bit of a go-to. And for me, with what's going on in the Ukraine, I've been singing that in my head too. And it was just bizarre. Like, she didn't write a comment or anything. She literally just dropped that song in the bubble. in our little chat bubble, and I'm like, wow, that's bizarre because that song is a huge another song that I break out. In fact, I listened to U2 the other day, or that came on my playlist. The one about his dad. Sometimes you can't make it on your own. Oh, God, that song makes me cry too. I won't. All my music is that I play in the next few days won't just be we're all feeling helpless music. Like I will play some upbeat, positive, hopeful shit too. Scout likes all of their songs. Go Scout! I'm trying to remember the one that makes me dance really badly. It starts off as like do 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 do. Let me think. I'll let you know. It is devastating, stop animal cruelty, and there's nothing I can say that's going to make you feel better except to say, I do know what you're going through. My dad had dementia. Um, like I said, though, he did actually die before he'd gone. But I've got a lot of friends, and even, unfortunately, not just friends with parents with dementia, but I've also got friends with it. And my poor auntie, her best friend got early onset dementia when she was 40. And she's been gone for, you know, nearly 40 years, but she's still alive because she was so young. Beautiful Stella. That was just crushing, absolutely crushing. Yeah, and music is the language of us all, Scout. Brings us all together. You're in a country where nobody speaks a word of English, but a song comes on and you can all have a bit of a dance. Instant connection. And that's a Cat Empire song. Music is the language of us all. Another Aussie band I love. They're about to do their final tour with the original lineup, which is really sad, but we played a bit of Cat Empire. And I mentioned Friday I'm in Love earlier, The Cure, and now I'm singing that in my head. I think I've always got a song in my head, come to think of it. I fall asleep to music when I'm not falling asleep to graphic murder stories. Sometimes I just fall asleep to the ocean when the seas are really rough, but well, hello, Baystar. Good to see you, and you have a lovely day too. Yeah, Scout, your dad. I mean, look, dementia is actually, I mean, this is one thing I learned from the course that Doodle ended up doing, and I'm so stoked that she did it and she found it really useful. But what goes on in our brain, it does actually happen to all of us as we're aging, but unfortunately, there are risk factors, and so some people it ends up becoming full-blown dementia. But it is actually a natural biological process for the neurons in our brain to stop firing as well as they did when we were younger. So it's actually part of aging is our brains, like every other part of our body, um, deteriorate, and there are lots of things you can do to offset that, and there's a lot of risk factors that you can stop doing to offset it. But it's just such a cruel disease. It's so hard on everyone. I must be awesome to be in a car travelling. I don't know, ask my friend Laura. We gave each other the shits on a road trip a few years ago. But I was really sick and driving the whole time, and we were under pressure too to get to a ferry to get over to Tassie, and The majority of the trip was good, but I had a grumpy moment. Well, we both had a grumpy moment, but yeah, no, I think for the most part I'm pretty good. I just put music on so we can sing and laugh. Little park is there. Yay. I'm so early, guys. Like I'm 40 minutes early. But I am going to go and get a smoothie from my favourite smoothie place. And I've got to put on shoes. And I can't believe you're even messaging when you're driving. How do you do that? But here we are in Hobart Town. Is anyone else working today or is it just me? Am I the only idiot? Well, a nursing home is the best place for him to be because the carers are trained and they know what to do. And I think that's where a lot of families struggle before their family member goes into a nursing home because you get frustrated because you don't want to distress them, but it's really hard to know what is and isn't going to upset them. That's the experience we had. Um, but it's hard. But you're not alone. Stop animal cruelty. Unfortunately, I wish none of us had to deal with parents with dementia because it is so cruel. And you can always pop in here for love, and you can always talk about what you're going through. Like we're here for everything, not just me being an idiot. You use voice text. You're sophisticated with your technology. I'm glad Tamara popped in because we were all putting out massive vibes last night because there was more rain and storms forecast for where they live and they were already flooded. So if they'd been flooded again, it would have just been unbearable and horrific. So fortunately, it sounds like they're, for the moment, doing okay. But, you guys can always talk on this channel about things that matter to you because this is a community. We all look after each other here. It's not me just preaching and pontificating and pretty much, an echo chamber with everyone in chat going, yeah. I mean, I'm a bit irked about something I did stupidly listen to a bit of it yesterday. I can't stand it when a YouTube creator gets something wrong and there are people trying to correct them, and not in a nasty way, but just sort of clarify something. Hello, lovely crime scene cleaner. Good to see you, Groover. Why do people? I'm not criticising you. It's lovely you've popped in, but the numbers have gone up once I get to the car park, and I'm not going to sign off just yet, but I'm putting my shoes on at the moment. I was wearing flip-flops, thongs, when I was driving, which we're not meant to do, but if I put my work shoes on in the house while I'm getting ready to go to work, Sunny gets really distressed. So I try to make as little noise as possible that she knows I'm heading out for the day. I always go in and kiss her goodbye and tell her to have a lovely day, and I put music and stuff on for her, but she looks at my shoes and she just has this face of sadness. Oh, look, we just talked about the flooding that's going on in Queensland and New South Wales in Australia at the moment, and not trying to steal their thunder, but Tassie's in a drought at the moment, but we're doing all right down here and looking out for a lot of our community live in Queensland and New South Wales. So we had a live last night that was actually really good with a panel, and that's probably the one you should watch. If you're going to do a replay, look, do the one from last night. But we've talked about dementia a lot today, and Doodle Brown popped in her her comments in chat about the course that I recommended are really beautiful. It made me feel good to know that that course I did a couple of years ago, that she actually ended up studying it as well, and how beneficial it was for her and her family. So yeah, we're just hanging out and checking in on each other. No PJs when you're meeting a person. I know, it's funny because I'm no longer working from home, and so many people when they were working from home literally were in their jammies, but I still got dressed up. I just didn't put on, like, I'm not dressed up. I mean, well, I'd wear work clothes, but I wouldn't do like makeup or anything. But I'd still put on work clothes, so I felt like I was working. Oh, the total number of recliners was 51. And I think the live went for like an hour and a half. And that was just in my little country town or coastal town. Like, it didn't even go to the next town over, Sorel, and there's a shitload on the side of the road there. We went past a few this morning, but yeah, 51 in the end. That was a funny live. Let's drive around where I live and see how many recliners there are on the side of the road, but 51. The anti-recliner movement has reached Tasmania. Tasmanians are saying, nope, fuck that recliner, it's bad juju. I really feel sorry for the guys that have got to load all that shit onto their trucks because, like Greg Lawler mentioned in the live last night, like, recliners are fucking heavy. Those poor people are going to be exhausted. I mean, we saw 51, but there'd be way more because I didn't go down every street. I'm just putting on a bit of mascara because when you're wearing a mask, I don't wear makeup. I wore makeup the other day and then just completely trashed. I mean, I was wearing a disposable mask, but, you know, when I had to take it off to eat food or whatever, I'd be looking at it going, I don't want all that yucky makeup on my mask. Get the fuck out of here. I know, 51 recliners on the side of the road. Insane. We should write a song, you know, like the Green Bottles song, but do a recliner version. I'm actually now cleaning my glasses too. I didn't do that before I left home, which was really dumb. Because, well, I did, but not properly. Oh, stop animal cruelty. I'll get my glasses on and I'll be able to read your comment. But yeah, I do need to vent at some point about a YouTube creator who just ran with something yesterday and people were trying to point out that she wasn't right. And she still just ranted about it. And it's like, just, I don't know. Okay. You got my dad a CD player, got his old favourite, Barbara Streisand. Oh, that's awesome. Music therapy is really good for dementia patients because they do have moments of sort of clarity and music can trigger memories, and so that's a really that's a great thing to do. And I think music just calms people anyway. I used to get dressed when I work from home, but now PJs all day unless I have to be in the field. Just realised my hair's down to my waist, it's always up. Yeah, you'd probably want your hair up when you're doing your work. I've got the biggest bloody dreadlock happening at the moment. I noticed it this morning and it was like, oh, do I brush it, comb it out? I was like, I don't have time, so I've just concealed it. I've put an up, like I've got a ponytail, but like, you know, an up one, like a 60s sort of one that's fanning out a bit, and I'm hoping it's just hiding in there somewhere and no one will see it. Beach hair. There's always a little dready or a little mash in my hair somewhere. I mean, I've got beach hair when I haven't been to the beach. I've just got that kind of wavy, clumpy hair. You haven't got a haircut since lockdown, out of control. It's funny because a friend of mine, her hair just doesn't grow, and she's like, "How has every fucking person on the planet, male and female, ended up with these amazing locks thanks to lockdown?" And she said, "My hair's grown like half an inch." Poor Joe. We've still got to wear masks indoors, which really is hard in this job because we do phone advice. But what we do is we have, when we're in our offices, we take our masks off. We're on our own in each office, and then there's a little sign on our door that says, "Please knock so I can mask up," because it is really hard to give phone advice. And a lot of people on the other end just, we sound really muffled. They can't really hear what we're saying. So that's how we've got around that. But they're saying they're going to get rid of masks here pretty soon. So I'm a bit excited about that. That was another reason I loved working from home. We didn't have to wear masks. Just found my parking ticket. I'll put that in my little wallet. So, how lots of people have got gigantic wallets? This is my wallet. It's just been my wallet for years. It's like a coin. It's red. I don't know why it looks brown on the screen. It's a tiny little purse that came inside a tiny little festival bag. That's what I use. That's my little... I see so many women that have wallets that literally almost need wheels to drag along the ground because they're so big. You got 7 inches cut off before lockdown. Now it's down to your waist, crazy thick. And so, yeah, it is heavy. I get headaches from having my hair up a lot of the time. That's why I do the really high ponytail, because it kind of doesn't sort of end up like on the back of my head and pulling everything. You would still need to wear masks in your line of work for sure. See, going into masks is probably easy for you. But even with me working from home, my work colleagues who had been coming into the building, they're so used to having a mask on, but I'm still really struggling. Even at the gym last night, we're allowed to take them off if we're doing vigorous exercise, and the class that I did was vigorous. It was a bike class. But by the time I'd set up my bike, we hadn't even started riding, I was already ready to take my mask off. I've come in very late in having to wear masks all the time, and I'm not adapting. You'd rather wear a full face respirator than a medical mask. And what about how we all bought all those pretty little cloth masks and then they're fucking useless? No point wearing them. They do nothing. So everyone's like, okay, fuck, we'll wear them. I mean, some days I have worn a surgical mask and then I've put one of my cloth masks over the top purely for aesthetic reasons. And I did bring a denim one in with me today, which I love. It's really, really comfy, and it sort of gives me much better coverage than the surgical mask. But I do sometimes wear those together. But people look at you and go, they don't work anymore. It's like, they do if you've got, well, I mean, not that it's surgical masks really, but I'm doubling up. But I bought all these really pretty ones that I want to wear, and it's just like, wow, that sucks. That sucks. Also, lots of love to anyone with COVID at the moment. One of my really good friends, the one I bought the ticket to go and see 1927 with, she's not doing very well. I mean, she's going to be okay, but she's been really hit hard by it. So lots of love to anyone who's dealing with COVID at the moment, or anyone who's got family or friends dealing with it. It's not mild for everyone, and I wish our government would stop saying that. Yeah, my glasses fog too with the surgical one. Even knowing how to do it, they still fog. It's all just wrong. But I do love that I don't wear makeup at the moment. I don't think I look better with makeup on, personally, I think, but I've got a lot of broken capillaries on my face, but and I've had them since I was a little tacker, but I am liking not having to wear makeup. My skin is loving it too. Yeah, double up on the masks. If you wore makeup, it'll melt off your face. My skin's a nightmare for my skin, just loves absorbing everything. So even if I do makeup, so many of my friends at the end of the day, they've still got like a full face of makeup, even still got lipstick on. I don't wear lipstick, I wear lip gloss, but a lot of my friends wear these lipstick brands that stay on all day. And in fact, some of them wake up in the morning and they've still got it on. I just think it reeks of toxicity. If it's that bloody amazing, it can stay stuck to a lip all day and night. But anyway, but they'll have a full face of makeup, and my skin has just absorbed everything. I pretty much just have mascara and lip gloss on by the end of the day because I refuse to wear like the full on matte cover everything up. Like I wear like a mineral foundation, so you can still see my freckles and stuff like that. And yeah, my skin just absorbs it because it is a moisturizing foundation as well. My skin's like, thank you, I'll absorb that. I'll have one last ciggy and then I'm going to go and get my smoothie. I still have to do that live where I want to do a panel, but it's going to require people who are brave enough to cam up. I cannot wear red lipstick. I look like an absolute slapper or a clown. Like I look so bad. And all these girls would go, anyone can wear any colour of lipstick. No, not true. Hey, medicine man. I love how you roll in and just leave a beautiful, positive message for everyone. Right back at you, Groover. Peace be with you too. But yeah, I want to do a live to prove that no, not everyone can wear red lipstick. You can't either, Grant and Clan. The problem is getting people to cam up to do it. But there's quite a few people in our community who are happy to cam up for stuff. So, but yeah, I'm more than happy to demonstrate how bad I look. Also, I've got my Retreat Yourself box. Those of you who watch my unboxings, I get one box now. I used to get heaps, but now I just get one. But it's every season, and the autumn one's just arrived. I felt I was going to do it during the week, and then with all the flooding and what's going on in the Ukraine, I thought, how entitled and privileged will I be just sitting there unboxing while there's all this shit going on around the world at the moment? But I'll definitely do it on the weekend because I'm itching to open it. Do a live about makeup, maybe moisturizers, but I'm not the makeup. I mean, the only reason I even know how to put makeup on is because I modelled for a few years, and the woman that ran the agency taught us all how to wear catwalk makeup. But even her agency was very down to earth. I mean, the fact that I was modelling for her, she used real models, not size 4 skinny minis. She actually had, size 12s and 14s strutting their stuff. It washes you out. Yeah, it makes me look like an absolute slapper or a clown. Scout, you can't wear red, you wear wine. You'll cam up. Awesome. Yeah, we'll do this. We'll have a live and we can all put on red lipstick and see who can wear it. Like Mel can wear red lipstick because she wears it when she does Natalia. But I put red lipstick on one night as Lindley and awful. Vivian Sanchez was up on my panel last night and she's like, oh, wait a minute, Tori, I always think your name is Lindley. I was like, oh my God, more people on YouTube know me as Lindley than Tori. You'll cam up too? Awesome. We'll do this. We're going to do red lipstick doesn't look good on everyone. Some of us look like absolute tarts. Because I do. I look like I'm about to move out to a street corner and, flaunt my wares, if you know what I mean. I look shocking. It makes me look horrible. I wear neutral colours usually if I have to wear lipstick, which I don't wear very often, but if I'm going to like a dinner or something and I'm a bit dressed up, I sort of wear browns and dusty pink kind of colours. Not pink, that doesn't sound right, but you know what I mean? Like I kind of use browny cafe latte sort of I used to wear plum, but even that makes me look bad. There's a really early video on my channel when I first started YouTubing where I do an unboxing. I used to get this box from America called Single Swag, and there was a purple lipstick that I put on while I was live, and then I couldn't get the fucking thing off, and I looked terrible. Yeah, I'm a chapstick queen too, and I also occasionally there's a brand in Australia called it's not Bee's Knees, but fuck, what's it called? But they've got tinted lip balms. I really like them. You look like the Joker when you put yeah, see, I do too. The clown or the Joker or a slapper. That's what I look like. I go through a lot of lip balms. I've always got several, like, I bring a little basket into work with me some days and a satchel some days, and I've got a little table near my armchair if I'm watching TV that's got lip balms on it. There's lip balms next to my bed. Like, there are lip balms all over my house. And if I leave home without one, I will actually go straight to a shop and buy another one because I can't get through a day without them. And I mean, if your lips have already got a little bit of colour, you know, like a lip balm just highlights the colour in your own lips. Why not show that off? You know me as beautiful sunny girl's mummy. Yeah, I'm actually going to get the vet hopefully next week to do a house call because she's still living in my bedroom. People keep telling me not to stress about it, but I miss my little social bouncy butterfly sunny girl. Like I mean, some of my friends are like, we seriously have a cat that we don't see unless it's mealtime, and then they just sleep in the same spot every day. So there's nothing to worry about. But it makes me sad because I had a year of a cat that was very social, and like if we all go down to my room and lie on the bed and chat to her, she'll roll over on her back and let us tickle her tummy and stuff like that. Like she still likes attention. And she's getting better at coming from my bedroom out to the kitchen to eat. Like she used to sprint so quickly, but now she'll actually go for a little bit of a stroll and look around and sniff a few things. But even in my bedroom, I've got a trunk at the end of my bed that's got some shoes in it, and it's a hard trunk, and she'll lie on that, and then I'll go in and see her there, and I'll put her up on the bed, and she'll stay on the bed, but it's almost like she needs my permission to even get on the bed. She's just acting so differently to how she used to. But hopefully she'll be okay. It might just take time. I don't know. I just feel like she might need to go on antidepressants or something. But maybe she's just being a cat, you know? So many of my cat owning friends just keep reassuring me that it's just cats. They're just odd and they go through phases. But if she's still like this next week, I'm going to call the vet. I wanted to give it a few weeks because she's a bit of a changes her patterns every 3 weeks kind of cat anyway. So I thought I'll give her a few weeks and see. But we're heading into week number 4 next week. So I think I might have to seriously consider getting some expert assistance. But she's still eating, she's still purring, and she's still letting me tickle her tummy. So, you know, she's not like under a bed hissing or anything. Maybe she's just, now that she's 10, maybe she's just turning into an older cat. I don't know. I just miss her being silly and fun. All right, I've stayed live too long to go and get a smoothie, so I'm actually just going to go in and get on with my Friday. I hope you all have a lovely day. Thank you so much for hanging out. It was really lovely to see Doodle again, and I'm really glad that Wicking Dementia Centre course helped her. Much love to everyone. We've all got things going on in our lives at the moment that are testing, but we can always come here and hang out and give each other lots of love. Kitty Cat said if you leave some treats around. Ah. Leave some from the bedroom, bring it out through the hallway, some in the kitchen. I'll try that. I've got treats. I'll have a crack at that. Thank you, Crime Scene Cleaner. That means a lot. I love my groovers. I love how we just give a shit about each other. It's so refreshing. But yeah, have a beautiful night, day, whatever you're up to. Thanks for hanging out with me. And I'll try the treat thing, Scout, over the weekend. Thank you, gorgeous. Have a beautiful day, everybody. Love you guys. Bye for now.